Planting little seeds every day. Watching the world just change. Planting little seeds every day. Watching the world just change. 2005. My mum, Sonia May, passed to the other side. After a lifetime battle with alcohol, depression, diabetes, and doctor-induced drugs. My world, once cold, is now filled with light and inspires others to never give up the fight. 2006, Randy, head gardener, co-founder, plants his feet. He is the heart and soul that inspires the whole May team. My name is Ian Solomon Cole, aka KMT, the Freedom Teacher. Today, I'm going to talk about Hip Hop Garden and just kind of explore how this works. I'm going to start off with, it's quite interesting to hear Poetic Pilgrimage and African Boy and hear the similarities, despite our different approaches to hip-hop, how the similarities are. So I got into hip-hop as a refuge. As I said before, I was a carer for over 20 years for my mum, and I actually literally saw her dying in front of me. So it was a traumatic experience that I had. So I got into hip-hop as a way to kind of just, as a protection, as a way to kind of just protect myself from society. I was living two lives. I was seen as this person that was going out as this DJ, charismatic vibes, you know, but in my house was just trauma and madness and sadness and darkness. And what hip-hop did for me, basically, hip-hop actually served almost as a father figure. My father was absent as well. So listening to some of the artists, you know, KRS-One in particular, I loved KRS-One. I was like, wow, like, you know, that was like my father talking to me, my brother talking to me. That was like my family talking to me. So I really consumed hip-hop. But I was really interested in the social aspect of hip-hop. I was very interested in how hip-hop can be used for a social tool. So I was very interested in how it could be used for an educational tool. And what I found really difficult, and I understood as we go on in the presentation, I found it very difficult taking those kind of elements of hip-hop. I'm not just talking about the breaking, the DJing. I found the kind of way in which it was presented very difficult and in complete contradiction to my life at home. What I mean by that is that I was raised predominantly by women, so I'm quite a sensitive person. I'm quite a feminine person. I'm quite a soft person. But when you're going out in hip-hop, you can't be that. When you're going out to, you're just an African Boy perform, you can't go, hello, hi, da, 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 da. It doesn't really work. So I was living this complete duality, this complete paradox, this complete contradiction. I was seen as this person outside in the hip-hop world as being this really, like, charismatic person full of, like, energy, da, 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 da. But actually, at my home, I wasn't that person at all. I was full of pain, full of trauma. So 2006, a year after my mum passed away, this gentleman moved into my place called Randy Mayers. And he was just a phenomenal individual. Like, his passion, my passion for music and education and hip-hop for social change was matched by his passion for nature. And what he did, he basically just came to my home and started just growing food. Can we have the slides up, please? So I'm going to come back to these. It's a bit, you need to reduce the screen size. It's too big for the screen. Can we go on a bit more? Could go on a couple of slides. A bit more, couple of slides. Yeah, so this is basically my story. When I was at school, I was told I'd be working for Tesco's. Do you know what I mean? And now, just like African Boy said, I travel the world. I've been fortunate to work with Poetic Pilgrimage. You know, amazing groups. I've done a lot of work. You can see photos from different events that I've done outside of my home, but also in different organizations, with different organizations using nature. Go to the next slide, please. Okay, so these are some of the manifestations. You see there's a green theme going on constantly as well. So, you know, that's I kind of embody that. You know, it's not just the thing that I talk about. is something I am. And you can see basically the left image on the top left, that's images from my garden. A designer came, took some of the elements from the garden and actually made the designs out of that as well. Next image, please. Okay, so this is the kiss of death on the left-hand side. You might know this guy. So this is my actual garden itself. So what it was is that, this mic I think is, so what it was is that when this gentleman came, he started transforming my space and I started seeing more nature enter into my environment. And I was getting more and more frustrated with the hip hop scene. I wasn't a competitive person. I was a collaborative person. I wanted to work with people. I wanted to share. I wanted to da-da-da-da. But in a capitalist environment, in a business model, those kind of ethoses and values are not really shared openly. So I was getting more and more frustrated. So I was spending a lot of my time doing events, DJing and stuff. And while this was taking place, this transformation was happening. Next slide, please. And so what I decided to do is actually just take a complete break. From 2006 till 2011, 12, basically that was the formation of the project, basically, Made Project Gardens as it was today. And what it did, basically, we started to encourage people to come to the site, grow food, learn about health, train, martial arts, events, all elements of hip-hop which I knew, but I actually brought to the space, to my actual garden. This is actually my home. All these images are my home. I've converted my home. Because when we hear a lot about sustainability and environmental issues, people want to talk about how much money's spent. But just like hip-hop, if you see, as Tupac said, the rose that grew out of concrete, you know, it's the people at the fringes of society, the people at the bottom of society that the most impact. So we were saying we don't need to spend £1 million to do sustainability or environmentalism. Actually, what we need to do is have a great ethos. So we use my home as the demonstration for what we want to do in terms of sustainability and green issues as well. In 2013, I was touring with Native Son, ironically. If you know Poetic Pilgrimage, you might know Native Son. And on the tour, I had some few issues. I'm very transparent with my life. I'm very honest. I had some issues on the tour, personal ones. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to do no hip-hop music. I'm not going to perform. I'm not going to DJ until I actually understand myself better. There's a common theme which hip-hop is about, which is actually understanding knowledge of self. You'll hear that in many, many themes. So I spent a year in my garden. Didn't do anything, but either I was working ideas about how to formulate how the project's going to move forward, or I was actually working in the garden. And in the process of doing that, I transformed myself. I started to understand myself. I'm now called the pollinator, my style of working. Zzz, you know, that's my thing. I understood that there's a place for me in society, whereas before I didn't feel I was a part of society. All of this happened as a result of learning or working in nature, observing nature, using permaculture, which is a design system that looks at the land and works in harmony with the land. Using this system to understand who I was as an individual as well. So what I did, Randy left at 2012, so I had to continue the project, so that's why I took some time out. I was thinking, how am I going to move this project forward without his skill set? So that's what I basically decided to do. I basically took some time out, took a whole year out, got into a bit of debt, but I thought it was essential just so I could understand myself and how we're going to move the project forward. And what I started doing is bringing the two almost inseparable worlds of hip-hop, food growing, permaculture together. Can we play this video very quickly? Does it play? Nope, you gotta go back. Does it come up? No, it played on my computer, so I don't know what's... No? No, it should play. There we go, fantastic. All right, beautiful, fantastic, hyperlink, great. So what I've done, I've created a course. I've created a course called, it was originally called Food, Hip Hop and the Green Economy, but now it's called Hip Hop Garden. And what this does, this course base is a 6-month course that we designed for particularly aimed at young people, 18 to 25, where actually they get to learn about permaculture, food growing, event management, hip hop as a social tool, health and nutrition, etc., etc., etc. as well. So is that going to work? Yep, great. This is my home, by the way.
Yo, listen. Trees give us oxygen and nourish our brains.
Good day. My name is Ian Solomon Kowal, aka KMT, the Freedom Teacher. I'm the co-founder of May Project Gardens, and we are here to support, or we are here for, sustainable urban communities. I'm going to introduce you to my colleague to the left of me.
My name is Zara Rasool, and I'm the Education Manager here at the May Project Gardens. I met Ian about a year ago, and we were brought together by our passion for youth development and for alternative education, and for our energy for spreading the word of sustainable living.
These are all the activities that take place.
May Project Gardens, we broke the record for the most volunteers. Thank you, we're humble. Tuesday built birdhouses from pallet wood. Sign cells on top, yes they look good. No, they're not cheap, look and you will find. Locations around Morden, takes a little time. International.
So here at the May Project Gardens, we have been running open days, workshops and courses for about 8 years. It was co-founded by Ian, who identified several issues within the community.
Yeah, so we notice there's a massive disconnect between people's relationship with food and the environment. And that manifests itself in several different ways. The first being obesity. The second thing is the food banks. Within this borough alone, there's actually 8 food banks.
Yeah, and just one of those food banks gets 300 visitors per month.
But that's not the most startling. The most concerning figure is the fact that 90% of funding is being cut for youth provision.
That's a nice place
and
to
that's
stop
London-wide.
Okay, so that's what we're faced with. We're faced with a situation where, you know, we want to do great work, but we're not given resources. So actually, this is the best time for us as an organization because we've had no resources. We've been self-funded for 9 years until this year. We're now presently working with 3 projects, and we just won an award from the mayor last year for our work, for working with young people. So we work in Brixton, Lipton Park. We work in one of the most deprived areas. Well, it's not going to be in 2 years' time. It's been regenerated gentrified as we speak. We were working there, and actually what we're doing there, we're working with young people. They're making vegan food. These are like guys who are walking around like, as African Boy was talking about, like these kind of guys, and they're making vegan food. They're making vegan food. They're planting out food. This is what we're doing. Our aim is actually to get young people to be more aware of the possibilities, transferring their street skills into the green economy. So what's really interesting, we had a conversation with a young person recently, and they were saying, yeah, blood, I would grow certain things. And I was like, that's great. Like, you know, but actually the reality is they have skills, but it's just transferring those skills into an environment where it can be legitimized and legalized. So we actually said, well, did you know that the same techniques you're using for growing those certain things can actually be used to grow food? Eyes lit up. Showed him how much mushrooms cost. He was like, what? That means... So that's our long-term aim. Our aim is actually to take the people, young people, it's not just about growing food. That's our entry. The music is the entry to getting young people to see a different opportunity. In England, London in particular, we have one of the highest green spaces. And they're the lowest cost to maintain. They're one of the lowest cost in the council to maintain. But yet, they're getting eradicated. We are very lucky in London to have so much. You go to France, you go to New York, you won't see green spaces like London. We need to cherish these green spaces and use it to the maximum as well. So that's what we do. So we have a project in Brixton, working with young people doing that. We have a project where we're working with people that suffer from food poverty. Can you believe in England, people don't get proper food? It's mad. It's absolutely insane. We take it for granted. Do you know what I mean? But the resources, you know, food, water, are going to become more of a threat because by 2020, 53% of the population will be living in urban cities. Now, that might not seem anything to you guys because we live in a city, but actually that's going to have a massive effect on us, the way we live as a consumerism. We're very fortunate. We're consumers. We don't produce nothing in London, let's be honest. As a nation, we don't produce hardly anything. 40% of our food is imported from other countries. We've just exited Europe. Watch the prices go up. It's not a joke thing what's going to happen right about now. So these are basic tenets of our life, you know, food, water, water, shelter. If we don't even control those things, how can we talk about sustainability? So that's how I see hip hop being used for that purpose as well. So yeah, I think that's it for now. I'm going to do one track. Tarantula's Foot Bottom is the beat, please. Yeah, exactly as well. Any questions before I do the track? Any quick questions? Quick fire? Fire? Go on, quick. No questions? No way. This is not hip hop. This can't be hip hop. Okay. I need your help with this. The chorus is plant more trees so that we can breathe. Plant more trees so that we can. Plant more trees so that we can. Cut down the trees, there's no more you and me. So plant more trees so that we can. Plant more trees so that we can. Plant more trees so that we can. Cut down the trees, there's no more you and me. Are we good to go? Tarantula football, beat? Yep. No, yes, no. Come on, you must have some questions. I mean, okay, it's interesting. You know, people talk about hip-hop, but no one talks about food, but yet we consume it every single day of our life. Question. The nearest one I recommend, no, the one you should ask me is what I recommend, not the nearest one. Yeah, I personally would go to Love Gift in Honor Road. Bit of a journey, but I would go there. That's the one I recommend. That's my people. Me personally, come talk to me. My chefs are the best in the end of. My two chefs, they're killing it. The young people, the guy that cooked for the young people, he made macaroni cheese, and they were like, nah, it's got no cheese in it, bro. Nah. You should see the queue after when they had it. It's amazing. Like it's the perception. It's not they don't know. It's the perception of what food is. And as I said before, this is not just about me just providing, food growing and just for food growing's sake. I'm really interested in the self-transformational way in which food is used as well. Okay, how are we doing with that track? You don't have it? I emailed it, but you don't have it. Okay, let's do it this old-fashioned way. Do you know what I mean? Let's do it. 1, 2, let's go. Let's clap. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plant more trees so that we can. Plant more trees so that we can. Can't stop that. No. Listen. I don't think you understand the importance of nature. Without nature, you don't exist. That's what I find really interesting. When I come and talk about trees, people are like, I'm going to shoot a man. They're like, oh! You have to be the ones that celebrate nature. You have to pay homage to it. If you think it's not important, try living without it. Just for a day. You can't. It's impossible. So should we do that one more time? Do you want to celebrate nature? Do you want to pay homage to Mother Nature? Are you sure? All right, let's go again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that we can plant more trees so that we can plant more trees so that we can cut down the trees. There's no more you and me, so we plant more trees so that we can plant more trees so that we can plant more trees so that we can cut down the trees. There's no more you and me, you and Mother Nature, harmony. Close your eyes, visualize, dream. We plant more trees so that we can cut down the trees. There's no more you and me. Household waste dispose of naturally. In your compost bin, put fruits and veggies. 420 abuse got to shift, but we piss in the water. Don't forget the shit. Increasing cancer, we know the truth. Look at the toxins they place in the food. May Project Gardens giving nature a hand. Reconnect the elements as we work the land. Solutions don't come from or bought from a pack. Location, the garden in Malden, the back. No time to talk, only time to act. No time to talk, only time to act. So we plant more trees so that we can. Plant more trees so that we can. Plant more trees so that we can. Cut down the trees, there's no more you and me. So we plant more trees so that we can. Plant more trees so that we can. Plant more trees so that we can. Cut down the trees, there's no more you and me. Thank you very much. That's the Hip Hop Garden presentation. If you could put the last slide up. A last slide up. This space is our contact details. I only had 12 minutes, so forgive me for being so brief. It's very difficult to kind of express the fullness of the space. It's an experiential experience. If you're interested or even curious, just come to the space. It's the best way to learn. These performances are really good. They serve as a really good outlet, a platform to tell us what we do. But unless you come to what we're doing, you can't feel it, So the last slide, the website, if you're interested, is mayproject.org. mayproject.org, and we've just done a new website, so it's really nice. It looks nice and crisp. Is it coming up? Last slide, possible. Mayproject.org. And as I said before, we do events. We program festivals. I'm doing Green Gathering and Shambhala this year. So, yeah, you need to talk. So that's our basic details as well. I do courses as well. They're accredited as well. So if anyone's interested in any aspect of wellness, nutrition, health, diet, and want to engage people in a creative way, this is what we do as well. Thank you very much once again for your time. I want to big up the organizers and all the artists. Thank you.
Just give it up.